Welcome to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast, a show all about reviewing dinosaurs on a scale of 1 to 10 fossils before only the elite terrible lizards make it into the prehistoric cage match. This program is presented by the Stomp Chomp Roar Company and can be heard within all the rock layers across the planet. Grab your dinosaurs and your official scorecard because it's now time to dig for dinosaurs. Here's your Mesozoic host, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony.
Junior paleontologist, guess what? I made it back to the Cenozoic era. Can you believe it or not? Over the last 5 weeks, I traveled back to the Mesozoic era to see none other than the dinosaurs. That's right, your amazing host, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, time traveled back to the age of the reptiles to see those beautiful, terrible lizards that we call dinosaurs. Now, I just had the journey of a lifetime, and you guys, you wouldn't believe how amazing it was. But nonetheless, welcome back to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. Now, did everyone have a fantastic, an awesome, an amazing, a beautiful, a magical holiday season? What about your New Year's Eve? Were you guys all able to stay up until midnight to ring in the new year? I always love seeing the ball drop. No, not the asteroid, silly. I mean the majestic New Year's Eve crystal ball that falls down on Times Square in New York City. Now, as you guys can probably guess, today's podcast is all about time. That's right, just like time on a wristwatch or on my clock. But we're going to be talking about an even bigger time, all about geological time. Now, we might have just celebrated the beginning of 2023, but how many New Years did the dinosaurs experience? Scientists believe the Mesozoic era spanned from 252 million years ago to around 65 million years ago. And that's a span of over 185 million years. That's right, 185 million years is how long the Mesozoic era lasted, or the age of the reptiles, or middle life. Now, the Mesozoic era can also be broken up into 3 time periods, and I know all of you guys have heard of these names. We have the Triassic period, the Jurassic period, and the Cretaceous period. Now, that's how they got the name of Jurassic Park, how they named the book and the movie, just like the book right here by Michael Crichton. That is how they got the name for the dinosaur island, the dinosaur park. It's one of the time periods when dinosaurs lived. And hey, did you guys know that most of the dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park movies, they actually live in the Cretaceous period? That's right. But hey, today's genus was named after a stage of the Jurassic period. So even the periods can be broken down into epochs and stages, and time just breaks down and on and on and on. Eons, eras, periods, epochs, stages, and today's dinosaur genus is named after one of those stages in the Jurassic period. So this one is all about the Callovian stage. Now, before we make our way into our time machine for today's dinosaur review, let's update you guys on a little bit of dinopreneur news. Now, what a crazy last couple of weeks I've had. My phone has just been ringing off the hook. I've been getting tons of emails in my inbox that just keep filling up with all kinds of new bookings for this year. I've already received around a dozen bookings for this summer, and things are definitely heating up here at the Stomp Chomp Roar headquarters. And it's not from the asteroid strike, it's from all kinds of awesome business. Now, be sure to bring me to your next event, whether it be a birthday party, an elementary school, a child care, a public event, or so much more. And if you don't live here in the Omaha, Nebraska area, we even do virtual lessons. We can bring a virtual lesson to your kiddo's classroom, the local library, all kinds of things for some awesome prehistoric fun. fun. Now everybody, my Patreon club is still alive and well, and we have one more virtual lesson for the month of January. And it's going to be this Sunday, January 22nd. And this one's called the Prehistoric Royal Rumble. That's right, I've selected 30 awesome dinosaur genus, and we're going to let my junior dinosaur rangers help us vote on a winner. It's going to be so much fun. I made an awesome game for us all to play this Sunday, and I cannot wait to see who's going to be the winner and be named the Prehistoric Royal Rumble champion. Now guess what, everybody? Next week, my family and I are traveling to San Antonio for our first family vacation of 2023. And actually, it's a little bit more of a work trip as well. Now, we're going for two main reasons. First, we're going to go meet the one and other Dinosaur George. That's right, we're going to go meet El Stinko Dinosaur George DG. I'm going to go down there and meet my dinosaur mentor. And second, you guys, we're going to go check out and watch the WWE Royal Rumble. Baby! It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to fly out next Thursday. Now, you guys, we have a ton of shout outs. We haven't been on the podcast in 5 weeks, so let me hurry up and dinosaur stomp through these shout outs real quick. We have some awesome birthdays. So happy birthday to Noah, Willow, Meadow, Weston, Zoe, and Colton. Those are some of the birthday parties we did over the holiday season. And also, Noah is one of my Patreon club members, so shout out to him and his family. They have the awesome the cookie business, you guys. It is so much fun following them on Facebook. Now, you guys, some private lessons we did over the holiday season. Shout out to Rowan, Robbie, and the Gillespie boys. We just had so much fun teaching you guys all about prehistoric life. And Rowan, we had an awesome virtual lesson. I just love doing that dinosaur game we played where we tried to get us to see which dinosaur toy we had in our rooms. It was so much fun. Now, shout out, you guys, to the Elkhorn Public Library. This was the first Omaha Public Library branch that I had visited, and it was the Elkhorn branch, and we had tons of fun. It was a packed house. They even had to turn a couple families away, sadly, because there was just no more room in the room for us. It was just a jam-packed show, and I had so much fun. Now, shout out to the Bellevue Public Library. We visited them. It was our first event in 2023, and they brought us back from last summer. It was tons of fun. I love them down there at the Bellevue Public Library. Now, shout out to Westridge Elementary School in Elkhorn. You guys, I was supposed to do this prehistoric pep rally last December on the last day of school, but they had a snow day. So Westridge Elementary rebooked me for the first Friday in January, and it was so much fun. It did not disappoint, and I hope all those kids had a good snow day back in December. Now, shout out to all three of the Small Miracles preschool locations. I visited them last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it was so much fun. They were all feeding paleo all kinds of fish, checking out all the awesome fossils, and our volcano experiment. Shout out to Growing Minds Clubhouse that we visited last Thursday. This was our second time down there. It was so much fun. I loved all the kiddos. They had awesome roars. They loved feeding paleo, and some of them even wanted a triceratops horn like a unicorn. It was tons of fun. Then we went back and visited Happy Sprouts Childcare and had tons of fun down there, you guys. It was awesome because I believe for the first time, childcare put the kids in a circle. So then I was able to come and bring all my fossils to show the kids. I would get in the center of the circle. Then everybody could see at all times, and I kind of just went around the circle. It was tons of fun. We had a dynamite time. Now, you guys, this Friday, a shout out to Norris Elementary School. You guys, that's where me, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, I went to Norris Elementary, and I'm visiting them this Friday. I'm heading back to my old stomping grounds to educate and entertain the kindergartners and the preschool Montessori kids. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. I'm going to have chills walking back into my elementary school. Now, you guys, let's climb into into our time machines and head back to the middle Jurassic period to review our next dinosaur genus. So quick, set the time continuum to 164 million years ago. Here we are, all my junior paleontologists. We have made it back to the middle Jurassic period. We have time traveled, and today we're talking about a dinosaur called the Callovosaurus. The Callovosaurus. Now, the Callovosaurus means Callovian lizard. That is the stage in the middle of the Jurassic period, the Callovian stage. So this dinosaur genus is named after that stage of time in the Jurassic period. It's the Callovosaurus. The Callovosaurus. Now, what dinosaur order, what order does this dinosaur genus fall into? Now, the Callovosaurus is an ornithischian dinosaur. Those are the bird-hipped dinosaurs. And then it falls into those ornithopods. Those are the bipedal, walking on two legs, herbivores. They're eating all kinds of plants. And then they fall into the dryosaurids family. So ornithischians, ornithopods, dryosaurids family is where our Callovosaurus falls into in the dinosaur order. Now, how big was this dinosaur? What was its length, its height, its weight? Well, our Callovosaurus is up to 8.2 feet long, or 2.5 meters. They're up to 3 feet high, or 1 meter, and weigh around 100 to maybe 200 pounds. So they're a very small dinosaur. They're about 1/3 the length of the Iguanodon, which is kind of what this one is based off a little bit. So think about an Iguanodon, and then our Callovosaurus is about 1/3 the size, only just a little bit over 8 feet in length, 3 feet high, and only weighs 1 to 200 pounds. Now, the size isn't certain. The size is uncertain because it's based on just a couple fossils, you guys. They don't find very many fossil specimens of our Callovosaurus. So it's only based off a couple fossils, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. Now, how fast was this dinosaur? How quick was our Callovosaurus running back during the Jurassic period? Well, our Callovosaurus, I'm having it come in about 15 miles per hour. Remember, it's on that bipedal stance. It's walking on two legs. But you guys, it could also be on 4 legs. So maybe when they're down on 4 legs, kind of walking around, they're getting all kinds of plant matter, all kinds of food. They're herbivores. They're looking for all kinds of plants, ferns, mosses, maybe some low-lying grasses to be munching on back during that Jurassic period. So both 2 and 4 legs running up to about 15 miles per hour. Now, what characteristics, you guys, does our Callovosaurus have? What defenses could it have to maybe help fight against predators? Well, you guys, not much can be described because, like I mentioned, only a couple fossils have been found. Now, they have found a complete 11-inch, just under a foot, left femur. Now, the left femur is the thigh bone, and that was found of our Callovosaurus. And they also found some shin pieces that they believe also goes to this dinosaur genus. So like I mentioned a minute ago, picture an early species of Iguanodon. So think of the Iguanodon. I believe I have one here in my science lab studio. Let me grab it for you guys. So right here is our Iguanodon toy that I have in my science lab studio here. So picture this Iguanodon right here, but only 1/3 of the size, so a lot smaller. Our Iguanodon maybe being around 24 feet in length. Our Callovosaurus only about 8 feet in length, so 1/3 of the size smaller. So picture our Iguanodon. It's walking on 2 and 4 legs, eating all kinds of plants. Now their head, think of the duckbills. It has a blunt duckbill-like snout or skull. They have a toothless beak, so there's no teeth up there in the front, but they have that beak that's going to help shred all kinds of vegetation away from the ground, away from the plants, the trees, getting those leaves off the low-lying branches. But then they have cheek teeth. So our Callovosaurus probably had somewhat of cheek teeth, just like our iguanodontids, and those cheek teeth back there are going to help grind down all that vegetation they're eating so they can chew it up, break down that vegetation before they swallow it and put it down into their stomachs. Now, something really cool about our iguanodon, they have those 5 fingers, you guys. So just like us, they have 5 fingers on their arms or their front limbs. And then, you guys, they have a 1 to 4 inch thumb that had a conical-like spike on it. So with their thumb, you guys, was kind of like a little thumb spike that was maybe 1 to 4 inches in length. And it would have probably been really sharp. Now, what would they have used it for? What was that thumb spike used for? Well, probably maybe a little bit of defense, or maybe getting all kinds of food. They could tear away at vegetation. Maybe they could dig down into little holes, get tree roots up. Hey, what if they're eating little tiny insects? Maybe they could burrow into all kinds of ant holes. Are they an anteater? We're not sure, but we know for sure they're eating all kinds of vegetation. Now, they have a flat, stiff tail on the back, you guys, helping keep them balanced as they're running all throughout the Jurassic period. They have a very bulky body, just like our iguanodon, and they have 3-toed claws on their hind legs. So 3 toes on the back legs, but then 5 fingers or digits on their front arms, on their front hands, just like me and you, and they have that thumb spike right there for using it for all kinds of uses. Now, their skin, we don't find any feathers on our iguanodontids, but we know they probably had somewhat of a rough, pebbly-like skin, no feathers, and you guys, they most certainly would have lived in a herd system, and those herds are going to help be protection, defense. The quantity of the herd is going to help them against all kinds of predators. Now, you guys, when did our Callovosaurus live, and how long did this species live back during the Mesozoic era? Now, as we all know, our Callovosaurus is the Callovian lizard, which means it's coming from the Callovian stage of the Middle Jurassic period. Now, that was 164 to 161 million years ago, back during that mid-Jurassic period, and it was found down in the Cambridgeshire, England, in the Oxford Clay Formation. Now, it was found and named a Camptosaurus. It was found and named a species of Camptosaurus in 1889. That was 100 years before dinosaur ranger Anthony was born. Now, it was named in 1889, like I said, by Richard Lydecker, was the scientist, the paleontologist that named our Callovosaurus. But like I said, it was originally named the Camptosaurus. Now, you guys, in 1980, about 9 years before dinosaur ranger Anthony was born, it was renamed its own genus by Peter Galton, and it was named the Callovosaurus, or the Callovian lizard. And they classify it from that almost complete 11-inch left femur, or that thigh bone, and a few shin pieces. Now, you guys, that is our Callovosaurus, and just picture an iguanodon, but a third of the size, you guys, and that is our Callovosaurus. Only about 8.2 feet in length, 3 feet high, 100 to 200 pounds, maybe running somewhere between 15, maybe they could get up to 18 miles per hour. They have those 5 fingers on their hands, and don't forget about those thumb spikes, that conical-like thumb spike that they probably most certainly had. Our Callovosaurus is just a very early iguanodontid. So, you guys, it also lived in the Jurassic period, like we know, and it's the Callovian lizard. So, what is going to be our fossil score? Our first fossil score of the new year of 2023. What are we going to give our Callovosaurus? Now, we know we can't give it higher than our iguanodon, which I'm pretty sure was somewhere in the 6s last year when we reviewed that genus. So, our Callovosaurus, you guys, I'm going to give this dinosaur genus a 4.1. Oops, I did a 0. A 4.1 right there. So it's a 4.1 for our Callovosaurus on our first review of the new year. So a 4.1 for the Callovian lizard. We did it, you guys! We made it back to the present day! I thought we were gonna get stuck in the middle Jurassic period, and we would have been dinosaur food for sure. And I don't want to be theropod food, especially for that pesky Allosaurus. But hey, thank you guys for traveling back in time with me as we went back to the Callovian stage of the middle Jurassic period. Wasn't the Callovosaurus just an awesome, unique dinosaur? It's like the Iguanodon's great grandpa. So the Callovosaurus, you guys, is like a very early Iguanodon. Super cool, you guys, and it would have been totally awesome. And hey, I can keep going with all the greats, but then we'd get stuck in some sort of time loop for over 1,000,000 years. Now today's genus, you guys, our Callovosaurus, scored a 4.1 on the official Dinosaur Review for Kids results or scorecard. Now this placed it right in between the Gallimimus, who scored a 3.9, and the Chirostonotes, who scored a 5.4. Now these two scores from season number 2 have bugged me for some time. Why do you punish me? You guys, that was Hootie and the Blowfish. But nonetheless, you guys, back to the Gallimimus and the Chirostonotes. These ones, you guys, have bugged me for some time, like I mentioned. These two dinosaurs always get in the way based on their review and their official score. So you guys, today I am calling an official audible or an edit to the scorecard, to the official results. That's right, we're going to flip these scores. That's right, the Gallimimus is a 5.4 and the Chirostonotes goes down to a 3.9. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Well, you guys, I didn't hear any nays. All I did was hear crickets, you guys. So it is official. The Gallimimus is now a 5.4. The Callovosaurus stays right there at a 4.1. And the Chirostonotes drops down to 3.9. It just made a lot more sense, kind of shuffling those two dinosaurs, just flipping their scores based on their characteristics, their size. So I've wanted to do it for some time, and it worked out perfectly that our Callovosaurus fit there right in the middle, just like a dinosaur sandwich, you guys. So totally awesome. Now I can go ahead and update my official scorecard results image that I like to post at the end of all my YouTube videos for the podcast. So thank you guys all so much for voting. Now you guys, a quick joke before we go today. We always have to do an awesome dinosaur prehistoric joke. So here goes. Now, I was going to tell my dinosaur joke like normal, but you guys didn't like it. Do you see what I did there? You guys didn't like the joke. I time traveled into the future, found out all my junior paleontologists didn't like my dinosaur joke, so I didn't want to tell it. Now that was the joke, you guys. That literally was the joke, and you guys probably don't like it. I told you you wouldn't like the joke. Now that's it for today, everyone. I think I'm actually going to jump back into the time machine and travel back to 1957. I want to find myself a soda fountain and find me a root beer float, you guys. I just love all kinds of those old-fashioned soda fountains with all the sundaes and floats, banana splits, dinosaur splits. They're just totally awesome, and I think it would be super cool to own one someday, but with like a dinosaur Jurassic Park themed. So wish me luck. Also, you guys, next week I'm going down to San Antonio, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of our podcast. I'm heading down to meet Dinosaur George. It is a dream come true, you guys. Back in 2017, when I was just daydreaming of owning a dinosaur business, I found Dinosaur Dinosaur George's podcast, and he gave me the motivation I needed to start stomping that way. And then you guys, last year, January 1 of 2022, I took my dinosaur business full-time. I've been a full-time dinosaur ranger ever since. I'm going into year number 2, and it is just completely amazing, a dream come true. I cannot wait to go down to Texas and meet my dinosaur mentor. It's gonna be so awesome. I'll be sure to post tons of pictures on the Stomp Chomp Roar Facebook page. But you guys remember, my name is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, your time-traveling host for today's genus, all about the Callovosaurus, or the Callovian lizard. And as always, you guys, keep digging for dinosaurs.
Wow!